Ding ding throwdown!
This week's throwdown is 60 power snatches for time.
Our demo athletes this week are Chandler and Jesse Smith.
All right, we're about to tackle Double Isabel, two super, super high-level athletes, and we're just going to spoil a little bit. They're going to go very fast.
So don't necessarily expect that. What you're about to witness is something very impressive.
Yeah, so out of the gate, even though we said they're going to crush this workout, they're doing singles. So that should send off a little light bulb in your head that says, I should do singles. I don't think there's really anybody who should touch and go this workout unless you're a games athlete that is...
Chandler's still a games athlete and Jesse,
but
right?
A games athlete who wants to just test it and see what happens. Anyways, don't touch and go this workout. Singles from the beginning is what's going to make the most sense for everybody. Now, 60 reps is a lot, and it's easy to get lost in that rep scheme and bleed a lot of time. So what's something you guys would focus on as you were going through this to stay diligent on your reps?
I mean, I think for me personally is hand placement and then just following the bar down. I think you kind of see two different strategies with Chandler dropping straight down, go right hand, left hand, straight in the snatch, where you see Jesse take a half a step back and then kind of go right down to the bar. I think for me personally, it's more of I need to stay over the bar as much as possible. That just kind of like forces me to get an extra rep and then maintain the cycle speed.
Are you going by feel during this workout? Or a workout similar to this?
Something like this is definitely more by feel of where I think I could kind of pick up the pace. I think you're definitely going to feel really good out of the gate. And then that like middle part from, I'd say 35 to 50 is where you're like, oh boy, this just got real. But that's where you really have to stay mentally tough and just kind of like keep chipping away, try to hold yourself on a clock or whatever it is to keep pushing the pace a little faster.
Yeah, so me personally, this would be a heavy barbell for me to move, especially for 60 reps. So I definitely could not go by feel because I could easily like blow myself up and just put myself in a hole where my overall time is terrible. So I think for me personally, I would have to put myself on a clock, and maybe it's like one rep every 8 seconds, and try to be around 8 seconds. Don't be so worried if it's like 8 or 10 seconds, but that way I can keep myself accountable to something and not get lost and over rush the reps or put myself into a hole that I can't climb out of. That way I can sustain and actually do as best as I could.
Yeah, I would probably fall in between you two, where I would have like a cadence I would want to start at, know that it would probably slow down a little bit, but I would actually put more focus on the way that I was moving the barbell, meaning, so if you watch Jessie here, I don't actually know what her normal snatch grip looks like, so she might be a narrow snatcher, but I would assume that this is maybe a little bit more narrow than her, than how she grips a heavy snatch. I would definitely pull with a more narrow grip than how I snatch a heavy barbell. To me, that helps save my shoulders a lot when I'm looking at 60 reps total. That's something I would really want to focus on. Another thing that I do when I'm cycling a lighter, moderate snatch or clean and jerk, which this is not textbook Olympic lifting at all, but I don't make hip contact. Instead, I make like thigh contact. And what that does is it shortens the amount of time that I have to keep pulling on the bar, so it saves my grip a little bit, and I'm using like the momentum off of my legs to create some speed up, and that helps me a lot with saving my back, and just like makes the rep feel smoother and like less effort going into it. You do have to be strong enough to do that. So if this is a weight that you have to be technical on, you can't make that change. You're gonna have to get to your hip, which both of them are doing. So it's really just athlete dependent there.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely ways to kind of like do the old snake where you don't really move the feet. You just kind of like pull and drop under it a little bit. I mean, Chandler's kind of doing it where he just kind of stays with a little bit wider stance, slight drop, not really jumping the feet out like a traditional snatch. Jesse kind of does a little bit more of that of a hip drive, but I know probably Chandler's one of his biggest strengths is probably snatch. So he's probably the most comfortable in this going into it.
Oh boy. Okay, then.
I was about to say
here?
he just took a little break, but now we know why.
I mean, so don't expect this to be happening right now for you guys going after this. And this is probably, unless you can do this and hang on,
Do you
not
think
recommended.
Jesse was annoyed right now?
Yes.
Yeah. She's like, how could you do this to me?
Yeah. We agreed singles from the beginning.
Nice.
Man.
Wow.
God, that was
I think that was 10 reps to finish touch and go.
Chandler. You just blew
Way to
that out
put
of the water.
a exclamation mark at the end of that workout.
I think something that also is just impressive from the both of them is that their movement, like economy or efficiency, hasn't really changed. Even when Chandler was doing the touch and go reps, like his position stayed largely the same. And just like being able to do that across 60 reps will just make each rep cost less energy wise, which I know is hard to practice or hard to do in the moment, but it's definitely something to work towards so that when workouts get posted that are like this, you can be more efficient and try to sustain this a little bit faster.
I really like her double hand grab, how she bends over, both
like
hands
picks
go
it up,
on,
yeah.
and she's spending like no time in that hinge position at the bottom.
It's definitely something you have to practice though, for sure.
For sure, yeah. Nice, Jesse.
Man. Well
Wow.
done.
Is that it? Oh,
That is
all right.
it.
Hell yeah.
Way
We
to go.
both
That was
flew
great.
on that.
They crushed that.
That was super impressive from both
Good
of
luck,
them.
everybody. Singles. Singles are your friend today.
Singles all the way.
And if you touch and go, tag us. I want to see.